Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back with me, Ralf Friedrichs. Today we are going to talk about the 10 tips to keep kids off drugs during this summer, or any summer. I just want to discuss that with you. Let me turn that down a little. And so this will be today's topic, 10 tips to keep kids off drugs during this summer. But first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Larry Geis from the Geis Academy, 516-485-2741. That's 516-485-2741. Larry Geis is an addiction recovery coach, a life coach. He will help you from your addiction to your recovery each and every step. He will never ever talk about your past. He only wants to concentrate on today and look at tomorrow and work from there. That's Larry Geis from the Geis Academy at 516-485-2741. You can also go and Google him at www.odysseyconsultant.org. That's www.odysseyconsultant.org. Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. Give him a call, and when you do call him, you tell him that you heard about him on the Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. GlobalEyeglasses.com. They are focused on saving you money. They are focused on giving you the eyeglasses that you need. They are focused on making sure that the prices are low. They are focused on giving you great quality glasses. I am focused, with my 30 years in the optometry business, on helping you place your order. So what you need to do is the following. You give me a text at 631-599-0218. You can call me at 844-405-HELP, and I will help find the correct lenses, whether they're progressive, single vision, line bifocals, photochromatic transition, high index, tinted, polarized, you name it, I can help you. But you need to get in touch with me at 631-599-0218 or 844-405-HELP. Let GlobalEyeglasses.com help you save money. 10 tips to keep kids off drugs this summer. Summer is officially here. Actually, it's 3/4 of the way done, or halfway done. And the relief and freedom felt by most teenagers across the United States is accompanied by the concern and worry that many parents are experiencing about their children's well-being. Now that your kids are out of school, how can you be sure that they will stay out of trouble? How do you know when they get involved with drugs? There are things that you can do to help them stay safe and enjoy the drug-free summer, and Knocking On, or AA, is sharing some advice in conjunction with the Take Your Life Back Today show with these 10 tips. Tip number 1 is have the talk. Don't assume that your children have fully gotten the message about staying away from drugs at school, in the media, or anywhere else. Even if they have heard it countless of times, it will have more of an impact when delivered one-on-one directly from you, with your expressing your sincere, utmost concern. Number 2, don't let them go to unsupervised parties. Summertime often sees parties where teens take advantage of the facts that parents may be out of town, or when the teens host parties outdoors in different locations away from prying eyes of the adults. And they do this for a reason. Make sure that that there will be responsible adults present at the parties that your children might be going to. What they do is they purposely avoid making sure that there aren't adults, because what they do want to do is try to do the drugs and alcohol without any supervision. So you, as the parent, need to make sure that you send your children to parties where there are adults. Number 3, maintain an open channel of communication with your children. After talking with your teens about drugs, make sure that they feel comfortable discussing the subject with you. To do this, you need to avoid making the talk a stern lecture. Keep it relaxed and invite your child to share his or her views on the subject. The more communication you and your child can have on the subject, the better will be the understanding on his or her part, and your child will want to avoid doing anything that might and will disappoint you. Number 4, keep unsupervised time to a minimum. In all likelihood, there will be long hours during the work week when you will not be able to be there for your children to supervise their activities. But this doesn't mean that you should just leave them to their own devices. Try to arrange things so that they are with an adult as much as possible, whether it's at a friend's house, coming with you to work, or visiting family or other, maybe closer friends than your everyday friends. Number 5, always know who they're with and what they're doing. Your teen could easily spend most of the summer doing things you don't have any idea about and spending time with friends you've never even met. And you would have no idea what happens during the day. Take time to ask questions and keep tabs on scheduled and social events that your children might be experiencing during the day. Point out media influence. Number 6. Movies, TV, music, video games, and more are filled with references to drug use. And in many cases, the media not only normalizes drugs, but makes them seem glamorous. Discuss this with your children to make sure that they are aware of the message that's being pushed, rather than passively accepting it as part of the show. Number 7, acknowledge and reward them. While you can focus on the things that your kids should not be doing, you should also pay attention to the good things that they do. By doing so, you can help to build your child's self-esteem and confidence, leading up to a better outlook and overall level of happiness. If your child feels really loved and has a stable home life, there will be fewer reasons or excuses to use them. Help them get involved in summer activities. Summer break doesn't have to mean idle days and aimless hours. In most areas of the country, there are plenty of activities going on, from organized sports to summer camps to volunteer activities. By choosing fun and engaging activities that keep your teen occupied and interesting, you can reduce opportunity to get involved with drugs. Let me just fix this light a little bit. There we go. Number 9, help find a job. If you can help your teen get a summer job, you can not only rest assured knowing that he or she will be busy and most likely supervised for much of the week, but also take stock in the fact that working and earning a paycheck can make an enormous difference in helping your teen to grow up. The responsibility of holding down a job can be a great deterrent to drug use and alcohol use. Number 10, set a good example, which goes back to what I always say about leadership. We should always make sure that we lead by example, folks. This is one of the most important things that you can do to help your teens avoid drug use. Don't underestimate the effect that things that you say and you do on shaping your children's opinions, attitudes towards life. Be upbeat, driven, compassionate, and caring, and stay sober and lead by example, folks. Because what you do in front of them, whether it's drinking or drugging or using profanity or smoking, they think it's okay because you're doing it, because you are their hero. You are the role model. So you need to pay attention and you need to show compassion and love and all the good things that come along with that to your children. Summer is officially here and has been for about a month and a half, and the relief of freedom felt by most teenagers across the United States is in conjunction with the concern and the worry of parents experiencing about their children's well-being. Now that your kids are out of school, how can you be sure that they will stay out of trouble? There are things that you can do to help them stay safe and enjoy a drug-free summer. Here on the Take Your Life Back Today show, we have come up with 10 tips to help you. Tip number 1 is to have that talk with them. Make sure that they totally understand that drugs and alcohol not only is bad for their health, but could lead to death, could lead to many other things. So have that talk with them. Don't let them go to unsupervised parties. The worst thing you can let your children do is to go to a party where you were already told up front that it's just going to be friends. Because there's a saying about the cat, when the mice will play when the cat is gone, or whatever the saying might be, I forget. But the bottom line is that if there are not supervised adults, the children, the teenagers, will get into mischief. Maintain an open channel of communication. Don't shut your children down with just saying no to drugs and alcohol and that's it. No, you need to have an open channel of communication. After talking with your teens about drugs and alcohol, make sure that you they feel comfortable discussing the subject with you. They should always be able to come to you with anything, whether it's drugs, alcohol, anything else. To do this, you need to avoid making a talk a stern lecture. Keep it relaxed and invite your child to share his or her own views on the subject. Number 4, keep unsupervised time to a minimum. In all likelihood, there will be long hours during the work week when you will not be able to be there for your children to supervise their activities. But this doesn't mean that you should leave them on their own devices. Try to arrange things so that they are with an adult as much as possible, whether it's at a friend's house, coming to work with you, or just visiting family. Number 5, always know that who they're with and what they are doing. Your teen could easily spend most of the summer doing things you don't have any idea about and spending time with friends you've never even met, and that is a scary thought. Take the time to question and keep tabs on their schedules and social scenes. Number 6, point out media influence. Movies, TV, music, video games, and are more filled with references to drug use, and in many cases the media not only normalizes drugs but makes them seem glamorous. Discuss this with your children to make sure that they are aware of the message being pushed rather than passively accepting it as part of the show. Number 7, acknowledge and reward them. While you can focus on the things that your kids should not be doing, you should also pay attention to the good things that they do and reward them accordingly. By doing so, you can help build up their self-esteem, confidence, leading to a better outlet and overall happiness. If your child feels really loved and has a stable home, there will be fewer reasons and excuses to turn to drugs and alcohol. Number 8, help them get involved in summer activities. Summer break doesn't have to mean idle days and aimless hours. In most areas of the country, there are plenty of activities going on. To volunteer activities to sports activities. By choosing fun and engaging activities that keep your teen occupied and interested, you can reduce the opportunity to want to get involved in drugs. Number 9, help them find a job. You can help your teen get a summer job. You can not only rest assured knowing that here will be busy and most likely be supervised for much of the week, but also take stock in the fact that working and earning a paycheck can make an enormous difference in helping your teen to grow up. The responsibility of holding down a job can be a great deterrent to drug use, can also lead to making good friends, new friends, but it can also lead to getting involved with the wrong people. So keep tabs as much as you can on the progress of your teen in general, but also when it comes to jobs. Last but not least, set a good example. Folks, you need to be that hero, that role model. Do not use profanity, drink, and smoke in front of your children. I suggest don't doing it at all, but we're not in a perfect world. People will smoke, people will drink, and people will use profanity, but do yourselves a favor. Don't do it in front of your children, because they have the mentality of monkey see, monkey do. So if they see you smoking, they think it's, hey, my mom and my dad smoke, that's okay, or they're drinking the same, and the profanity also. Set the example from the ages of 0 to 18. Be that good example. This one is probably the most important one on this list of 10. Don't underestimate the effect that the things that you say and you do have on shaping your children's opinions and attitudes towards life. Be upbeat and driven, compassionate, caring, and stay sober yourselves. Be that role model that you so desperately need. I think the saying that I was trying to say before is, when the cat is gone, the mice will play. It was bothering me that I couldn't think about that before, but when the cat is gone, the mice will play. Folks, it all starts at your home. It all starts on making sure that your children are seeing and witnessing what a stable life looks like. And that starts with you and your spouse or your partners. It all starts there. Teach your children the values of life, the compassionate part of life, the love of life, the respect of life. If your children see things other than that outside the home, it is up to you to reinforce those solid formats of a good life, of a stable life, of a home life, of a family life. Make their summer as safe as possible by instituting having that talk about drugs and alcohol with them. By not letting them go to unsupervised parties, folks. That's a big no-no. By maintaining an open channel of communication, whether it's drug or alcohol or any subject. By keeping unsupervised time to a minimum. Don't just let them willy-nilly walk the streets in your area. Always know where they are and who they're with. That is so important that you are on top of that game. Point out that the commercials they see on TV or hear on the radio are just marketing ploys. There, no TV commercial and no radio truly means when they say drug and alcohol is great, that it truly is great. What they're saying is to buy it so they can make the money. Reinforce the fact that drugs and alcohol is bad and can kill. Acknowledge when they do good and reward them. Don't always just jump on them when things go sour. Acknowledge the good things. Help them get involved in summer activities. Help them find a job, utilizing maybe your local library, your newspapers, or even word of mouth. But most important at the end of the day is you absolutely need to set a good example. And it all starts at your home. Remember, a sober today, I promise you will make a better tomorrow. That is a given. Give me these 24 hours today, and I promise tomorrow will be a sober, better tomorrow. And you got to stop. You got to start thinking positive, because all the positive thinking gives you positive results. The negative thinking give you negative results. And all the changes that I constantly speak of, folks, all start in baby steps. No changes in life happen with one giant leap. They all need to be structured and worked on. So if you want to see those changes, you got to start thinking positive. You got to take the tiny steps towards those changes, and those changes will happen. And teach your children to say no to drugs and alcohol at a young age, from 0 all the way up to 18, and you will start seeing that life for them when they leave at 18 will be a life that was structured with no drugs and alcohol, with lead by example by you, with love, compassion, respect. That is how you lead your household. That is how you send your children off one day to college or wherever they might go at the age of 18, military maybe. Folks, remember that today is a sober day, and if you keep it that way, tomorrow will be the same. I hope to God, no matter where you are in life or in the world, that you have the best day in your life. But I really hope and I pray all the time that everyone in my audience has a sober today and a sober rest of their life. And may God bless you.